What's going on, guys? It's Patrick here. Welcome back to the channel, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with a Fortnite top 10, and I didn't even mean to rhyme that. I'm sorry. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, today, as you probably saw by the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be looking at the top 10 worst weapons in Fortnite. There's a lot of good weapons in Fortnite, like definitely more than there are bad, and I would even argue that most weapons you're gonna come across that you're gonna pick up, you can get the job done with. But that being said, there are some weapons that you pick up and it's just honestly game over. And at the very least, it's just something you don't really want to use. Now before we do get into it, guys, I just want to say if you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe as well. Please comment down below what you think the worst weapon in Fortnite is. And if you're wrong, I'll find you. But let's be honest, I think we all know what it's gonna be. Coming in at our number 10 spot, guys, we have the semi-auto sniper. Now before we get any further, because I'm pretty sure I just triggered everybody, let me explain. There are roughly like 22, 23 guns in Fortnite, depending on what you want to count. So basically that means that like the 10th worst is like the 14th best. So what I'm getting at is the semi-auto sniper is not that bad. I just don't think it's very good. If you're early game, running around, and you happen to pick up a semi-auto, like you're doing well. It's good to have a semi-auto just, to take that first shot, do big damage. But the issue is nobody is going to use a semi-auto sniper when they have the option to use a bolt action. And I think they honestly changed the drops because I've been finding more and more that I'm just getting a ton of bolt actions and no semi-autos. And I really don't mind, but again, it's not that it's a bad weapon, it's just that there is a clearly better option. Moving down to our number 9 spot, we've got the uncommon pump action shotgun. This is one of those weapons that you don't want to use, you're disappointed when you get it, but it's something that you have to make do with when you have it, which is basically at the start of the game. You really want that green tactical or something even better, and you spawn in, and all you've got is a pump action comp. It's good and bad. Like, this is definitely not the worst gun in the game if you're a good player. You just gotta make some shots. But the issue with it, man, is like, it's just so easy to get devastated against a tactical. You have to make both shots, and even then, if they're a good player, they still might get you. Now that being said, if you're going up against someone with an AR in an early game, like, yeah, I would rather have the pump action, just make some shots. And that 90 damage is absolutely devastating, especially when you make that shot, swap out to a pistol or something and finish them off. But realistically, who's out here trying to play with a pump action shotgun? Better not be you, or I'ma find you. Actually, you know what? Go right ahead. We need more bad players in Fortnite. Number 8, the scoped assault rifle. So I feel a little bit bad putting a weapon on this list that only comes in tiers of blue and higher, but this thing is not very good. It used to be that the scoped AR did 34 damage, which was a 3-shot kill, which is great. They then lowered it down to 25, meaning that it takes 4, okay? That doesn't sound like a big difference, but it is. The scoped assault rifle is just really not very effective anymore. It's a good substitute for a sniper when you don't have one in the early game, but like realistically, it's just not that effective. I find most of my fights with one of these things usually goes as I tag a guy once, he then knows I'm here, and I pull out my other assault rifle and finish him off. Like, that's just how this weapon plays out. Honestly though, I just really never have much desire to use this thing. Like, it's just really not that effective at killing people. It just seems like you tag a guy once and that's it. You gotta go for headshots, and even then, it's only doing like 55, 60 damage, so I just don't like this thing. Which brings us to our number 7 gun, this silenced SMG. So I'll say 2 very obvious things about the silenced SMG. The first being that it is actually the lowest ranking on this worst list. The other thing being that it is still coming in at number 7. SMGs are just notoriously bad in this game. Like, they have their place, but pretty much any engagement with an SMG, you're going to die. And an engagement that is close enough where you should be using an SMG, someone is going to be using a shotgun. And do you know what happens when you bring an SMG to a shotgun fight? It doesn't work out for you. I don't care how stealthy you are, how tactical you are, it's just a bad idea. That being said, if I am going to run an SMG, I definitely want to run the silenced one just because I feel like it's a little bit easier to kill people, and the silenced is a nice bonus, but it's still very ineffective. Moving down to our number 6 spot, guys, we have the burst assault rifle. I think this is going to trigger a lot of people, but honestly, it's a top 10 worst list. Like, we're probably not going to avoid that. Man, like, the burst assault rifle is almost a good weapon, but just not quite. If you get that blue rare burst assault rifle, it's a one-shot burst, which is really good. It does 37 damage a shot. But we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the common one, the white burst assault rifle. That's what's on this list. The burst assault rifle is just, there's nothing good to say about it. Like, the spray on this thing, the bloom, is just, it's so bad. When someone's pretty far away, like, I would say at the same distance where I would probably be using like a scoped AR, and you just want to have them not moving, you want to crouch down, really get that target on, and just pop them for 3. But that never happens with the common. It does happen with the blue, don't get me wrong, but the common is just inaccurate. Basically what happens with the burst rifle is you see someone running, you shoot them with the burst, one lands on target, and then you're just like, okay, shit, I'm gonna die. Because if you've got a SCAR, an M16, realistically, like anything that's better, which is a lot of things, like you're just not in good shape with this thing. And don't get me wrong, I'd rather have this at the start of the game than just shotguns and SMGs, but still, it's just not very good. Moving down to our number 5 spot, we have the tactical SMG. When do you ever use a tactical SMG? You can get a green, blue, and purple tactical SMG. So like, the purple one is actually fairly good. And honestly, for this section, I will talk about all 3 because I feel the same way about all of them. If I were to spawn in on a map and the first thing that I got was any tactical SMG, I would be like, all right, that's not too bad, especially if it was an epic, because it does 18 damage a shot. I would feel moderately confident going up against a green shotgun. And that's with the best version of this thing. But the problem is this is actually extremely uncommon to find, and even the green one, although it says uncommon, is like stupidly rare. So my issue with this thing is the only time you're ever going to find it is probably later in the game because some fool's carrying it around or you just bump into it. And at that point, you've already got good enough weapons that you're never, ever going to run a tactical SMG. Like, if you've already got a purple shotgun, why would you even consider running the SMG? So the only time that a tactical SMG would be alright is at the start of a game when you're never gonna find one. Honestly, I'll take my chances with the pump shotty. Number 4, the semi-auto pistol. First things first, I just need to be honest. This is a very bad weapon. But of all the very bad weapons that exist in Fortnite, I'm a fan of this thing. Like, if you're out here, Mr. Big Dick Baller, you can actually get some decent kills with this gun. But the reason that these kills are considered decent is because this gun is so bad. I think the thing with this gun is, like, you just don't have high expectations of a semi-automatic pistol, so when you actually do well with it, which is reasonable to do, you feel awesome. Number 3, the SMG. That flatline, basic, absolute piece of garbage that if I get one more time from a chest, I will truly have an aneurysm. You know what you can get in chests? Legendary snipers, legendary grenade launchers, legendary RPGs, and SMGs. I don't even want to talk about the SMG. It is personally my most hated weapon, and it comes in at number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Because coming in at our number 2 spot, we have the worst gun on our list. It is the revolver. Man, like, the start of a game in Fortnite is a lot of luck. Like, you know, you might get a nice shotgun to start your game. Sometimes you're gonna get a revolver. And when that happens and you encounter someone, just say goodbye. Nice try, thank you for playing, but just stand there, take it like a man, and just die, and just get into another game. Seriously, there's nothing good about the revolver. It's extremely difficult to hit someone with, and it is a 2-shot kill. The problem with the revolver is it's so slow at shooting, so hard to hit, and then when you do finally hit someone, you have to hit them at least again, or maybe 2 more times if they have full shield. Now, yeah, you might hit a headshot, and that is the most satisfying feeling in the world, but good luck. I think what the revolver needs to be is a shotgun pistol. So for any zombies players out there, basically like the Executioner from Black Ops 2, where you shoot it and it actually shoots like a burst of. They need to add that into Fortnite. But the straight up revolver is absolute garbage. Every other gun on this list, if I play well, if I play my cards right, I can get the other person with any other gun on this list. The revolver Absolutely not. But ladies and gentlemen, do you know what the worst weapon in Fortnite is? Because I'm gonna be honest, it's not a gun. It is the electric trap. Who here has ever got killed by an electric trap? I have two pieces of advice for you. One, quit Fortnite, or the other, invest in a pair of headphones. This weapon is so bad because number one, you can hear it from a mile away, and number two, you can clearly see it on the ceiling. At least with the spike trap, you can't hear this thing, but with the zapper, if I hear it in a house, it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going in that house then. It's that simple. And it's so funny because this actually kills people sometimes. It's just like, how do you get killed by an electric trap? Like, you can so clearly hear it. It's absolute garbage. I have never been killed by one of these things in my life. And that is why it comes in at our #1 spot. Anyways, though, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, let me know, what do you think is the worst gun in Fortnite? Worst weapon in Fortnite? Whatever you want to go with that. I gotta go revolver for gun, but obviously, like, the trap is just trash. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out, you freaking